Right, hi everybody, thanks for coming again. I'm just going to start off now, I'll pass you on to Mandy. So I just wanted to update you on the campaign that we were talking about the last time. So we were telling you about me and Mandy were going to start a campaign for instant remand of anybody is charged with a sexual offence against a child. So we started this on the 1st of June. The 1st of June we've sent 27 emails. We've sent them to local MSPs, we've sent them to different MPs. Nicola Sturgeon, who's useless, we knew we weren't going to get a response for her anyway. The Children's Minister we emailed as well. So that's 20 days it's passed and we've had nothing back for them at all. Not one response for any of them at all. Well, exactly, their silence speaks volumes, do you know what I mean? It just tells us everything that we need to know. They're not interested. We've got a petition for Parliament and it'll be going live at the end of the month. And everybody can just sign it, share it, do whatever we can do. Then we need to start being proactive. We need to go to Parliament, but we all need to go together. And if me and Mandy need to put transport on for us to get there, that's what we'll do. We need to go, we need to be outside Parliament. Definitely. We'll hire a bus and we'll all go because we all need to do this together. Me and Mandy's only 2 people, so we need all yous with us. We're not going to stand for this any longer. We're not going to stand back while these paedophiles are being protected and their children are being plunged into danger every single day. Not a chance. We say it all the time. We're not going to stay silent so they can stay comfortable. It's time to stand together, all of us, and protect the children. The people that genuinely want to protect the children don't just want to jump on the bandwagon. Please come and stand with us and support us. Thanks very much. I'll pass you to Mandy.
Hi everybody, thanks again for coming. Yep, and like Laura said, we only come here every week trying to raise awareness of how bad the child abuse is in this country, how we've got a government, institution and authorities doing crap about it, like they're doing absolutely nothing to protect these children. We see children absolutely traumatised, they can't go to police because the police can't do the investigations because they don't have the power to do it basically. They've been told that they don't have the power to investigate certain things to do with child abuse. Not only, me and Laura are totally alarmed right now. Bernardo's charity, I don't know if anybody knows, we've did a lot of research and awareness about Bernardo's charity, but currently Bernardo's charity are they were part of the Scottish Child Abuse Inquiry. They've been found guilty of trafficking and exploiting children for decades in this country, absolute decades. They worked with the Scottish Government way back, about 50 years ago, in the removal of children along with social services. It was the travellers' children in Scotland. If you've got any travelling friends, they'll tell you this story. Social services came into their places where they lived and bullied them, and there was a government policy, a Scottish government policy, allowing them to do so. And then they removed children. The same thing's happening right now with this pandemic. Social services are bullying families and removing children. It's not any different from what happened 50 years ago. And Bernardo's charity are child traffickers and the Scottish Government are funding them to hide all the serious child abuse cases. Every time there's a really damaged child, Bernardo's charity get handed that child, get handed the responsibility of keeping the paperwork on that child because it's private, nobody can receive this information. We currently want to get another petition as well to get Bernardo's investigated because we just found out last week Glasgow City Council have just handed a full complex in Maryhill for £1. They sold it to Bernardo's charity. They've sold the land and the property. This property is going to be used to assist children coming out of the care and to live in the communities. Well, before I even look into it even further, I know this is going to be the children that's currently in secure units, that these places are going to be used to hold the children and keep them silent. That's why we're out in the street shouting every day. These children shouldn't be silenced. Why are we silencing children of child trafficking and child abuse? Why is the Scottish Government not convicting paedophiles? Why are they not sending them to jail? Why is the Scottish Government spending millions and millions of pounds? We've got the paperwork on rehabilitation programmes for paedophiles. You cannot rehabilitate a paedophile. Why are you giving them millions of pounds? to release them out of jail early, to keep raping more children. This is why we need to go to Parliament and fight for our children. It is not on. A paedophile shouldn't be able to rape babies and get 10 years and walk out with a new identity in our country. It just shouldn't happen. Be able to place ourselves within our communities and put our children in danger. We've got 100 members of a grooming gang running about the streets of Glasgow city centre. These grooming gang members own flats. See all these flats run about you that you see in Glasgow city centre? These flats are owned by people. They're trafficking children in them, they're trafficking teenagers in them, they're raping them, they're torturing them and they're trafficking them. And all these flats across our city centre at night, I've come in here myself, come in yourself, you'll see it. See the hostels and the hotels, there's child trafficking going on in them. It is absolutely sickening what is going on in this country now. If you look into the government documents, they'll clearly tell you Police Scotland do not have the funding to attend child sexual exploitation meetings. So what, do we just forget about the children then because we don't have the funding to attend meetings? We'll let volunteers attend the meetings and find out what's happening with our children. So like I said, I don't know if anybody's aware, but the Scottish Government sold Gavin Hill to one owner 15 years ago. We're still trying to find out who that owner is. But we do know that Bernardo's Charities running the show. We know that Bernardo's Charities is running the homeless children's unit. We know Bernardo's Charity owns part of the Housing Association. We know Bernardo's Charity more or less owns Gavin Hill. Now we've got a plate, we're going to start selling Mary Hill to Bernardo's Charity. Why are we giving property and buildings to allow people to rape and abuse and exploit children? Why is nobody doing anything about this? Why are Police Scotland not investigating these charities? Because we've been shouting about this for months. Why is there no investigations getting done? Why is the Scottish Government not getting investigating for trafficking and exploiting children? Because that's what they're doing right now. I had a woman the other day contacting me to ask for help because she was really busy. She had 2 health visitors just turn up at her door. This is how the government are working now. So 2 health visitors turned up and she's on her way out. She said, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Could I rearrange the appointment? You've never sent me a letter." This woman's now got social work. The children have been placed in a child protection order because she has to rearrange an appointment. That's not normal. Like, people need to start, we need to expose this because this isn't normal. People are getting bullied now and their children removed. But yet, me and Laura have showed you time and time again, social services can't remove or put the children on child protection orders, the ones that need child protection orders. Like, what was the name of that wee baby? That wee baby they left and they ended up dying. Liam Fee. Wee Liam. No, there's a perfect look, Liam Fee. There's a child. Social services were heavily involved in that family and that heavily involved. And that child got to die, but yet you can refuse a visitor's appointment right now and you're getting your child on a child protection order. There's seriously something corrupt, really, really corrupt in our social services. Bernardo's Charity and the Scottish Government just now, they're hiding child abuse in a massive, massive scale. Me and Laura have also got a wee newspaper here, guys. We're going to bring it every week and it's just all the convicted paedophiles, Scotland's worst paedophile rings in there because they're all free, so their faces are there. There's maybe about 30-40 members of the UK grooming gang that are all free walking about the streets. Probably most of them are in Glasgow if I'm being honest because there's 100 members. And there's also Nicola Sturgeon pictured with a paedophile who was cuddling him and was a pal. So this wee magazine paper's just for awareness. It's just to tell you the stories that the mainstream media won't cover and they won't tell you, but what's really happening in Scotland and how much danger our children are really in. It's sickening. Now these grooming gangs as well, guys, to just highlight, like these guys own takeaway shops and they also drive taxis. So this is where they become the groom the children. They let them sit in the back of the takeaway shops and get alcohol after hours. They tell them they can't drink it in the street so they can sit in the back of their shops. Before you know it, your child's been raped and a grooming gang being exploited and prostituted out because they're being threatened with pictures and stuff that these guys take of them when they're drunk. Yep, in the Goma building, guys, in the city centre. There's a lot of children sit round at the Goma building. That's the Gallery of Modern Arts, it's just down there somewhere. And there's a lot of victims of grooming gangs that sit about these places. The guys target them in these side streets and stuff. Nobody's really aware. Even some of these girls believe that these guys are their boyfriends. But we're trying to teach them that your boyfriend wouldn't make you have sex with 10 men for money. Like, that's not a boyfriend. But they genuinely are groomed, and they're so young and naive that they don't understand that this isn't right, or they're just too terrified of the pictures, like their school friends and stuff finding out what's happening, that they don't tell anybody. But Goma is a place to, if you see children kicking about there, like, just keep an eye on them. They're more safe in this city centre. So again, guys, thanks for coming. We've got our wee paper for awareness. And can I just say a massive thank you to Billy for our speaker? Thank you, Billy. You're an absolute diamond. Yeah, we're going to go to Nicola Sturgeon's in Parliament and outside the newspapers and everywhere with us.
If she couldn't hear us before, she's definitely going to hear us.
Yeah, she's going to hear. I'm going to learn to sing. Right, but thanks, guys, for everything. And thanks for coming. So this is the stuff that they don't tell you in mainstream media. So Police Scotland Sergeant Paul Bucknell, age 50, Cumbernauld, on the 28th of January 2020, he got done with downloading indecent images of children, and he was suspended on full pay and he was bailed. So Police Scotland, Stuart Galloway, 47, he was a former CID officer and he was also a former Child Protection Unit officer. He had indecent images of children, and he'd also been hiding evidence of the child abuse cases in his loft. Police Scotland Derek Kennedy, 34, he's from Dundee. He downloaded child rape videos. He had 3,000 pictures and over 18 hours of graphic video footage. He had 1,118 child rape videos. Children's from infant to 15 years old. They were mostly category A for bestiality and sadism. That was in 2019. He got suspended on full pay as well. SNP, Scotland's Finance Minister, Derek Mackay, well, he was caught grooming a young boy and he resigned. Probably drives a black taxi. Labour councillor David Fagan, 52, from North Lanarkshire, Airdrie. He was a member of the Councils for Education and Social Work committees. He was found in possession of indecent images of children. Police Scotland Sergeant Anthony Kelly, 50. He was convicted of possession of pictures of child sexual abuse and extreme pornography, images of bestiality involving young children. He resigned from police after being caught. Why are police allowed to resign? So that it doesn't affect their future jobs when they've been convicted of being paedophiles, and they wonder why we're on the street shouting about our children every day. Where's the protection for our children? Why are paedophiles being protected? Why do paedophiles not get jail sentences in Scotland? Why do they get why do they get bailed? Why do they get allowed? There's 2 members of the town head paedophile ring get allowed to commit suicide while on bail. Why do they get any kind of freedom? Why do they get out to prey on more vulnerable children? There was also another Police Scotland Constable, Ryan David Anderson. His home was raided on intelligence. A total of 724 illegal photographs of youngsters have been downloaded, including 149 classes in category A. Many of these images were of very small children, if not babies. He admitted making 3 indecent images, photos of children himself, possessing extreme pornographic images, almost a dozen featuring animals, and 1 showing an unconscious woman being raped. 1 charge of distributing a category A image and publishing an obscene article and discussing child abuse. He was suspended on full pay. Police Scotland Constable Robbie Conacher admitted accessing indecent images of children in his computer. And anyway, I could read these out all day, but I won't bother. There's a wee paper and you can all grab one, guys. and if anybody wants to speak before I go, but this is just an idea of why we're out here shouting. Paedophiles get to walk free and our children aren't free, our children aren't safe, and they're constantly being preyed upon. Child Protection aren't doing anything, Scottish Government aren't doing anything. As Laura said, we've wrote to all the MSPs across the whole of Scotland to back our campaign for straight remands for paedophiles. None of them are doing anything, so we're going to take it to them. We're going to get the signatures and we're going to start going to parliaments, prosecutor fiscals and courts and asking for remands for paedophiles.